recording, right? Yes, that's what the red bar means.
Hooray.
Are we live?
When the numbers go up.
Welcome back to the 7th Star to the Right podcast. This is the 8th session. How are you guys doing?
Great. I mean, we've been playing for 16 hours straight, more or less.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to go. It's like a whole new day.
It's like that because it is that.
Oh, okay.
So you guys leveled up in the last session. I assume you've all have gone through and done the little bits and bobs. Let's go around the table real quick and just talk about the new things that people got, the new shiny things. Philip, you want to start?
All right.
I know you want to talk very much about.
Sure. I don't know if I do. I'm just having a realization that it's hard to make me die. Okay.
Good. One of us should be that way.
That is my job. So yeah, Micah's pretty healthy. Got 27 HP now.
Jesus, at level 3?
At level 3, yes.
Cool.
I have 9
You have 9?
HP.
Oh my god.
Yo.
Oh, you guys are squishy, huh?
Yeah.
So I have, I guess, 4 skill points, 2 of which, because of like the psychic focus that I got, 2 of them I have to put into psychic stuff. So I leveled up my telekinesis to level 2, which let me get the technique slip field, so I can make folks slip sometimes.
Slip field.
Slip, yeah.
Fantastic.
So we'll see if that comes up. And also I'm better at shooting and armor and like everything.
Because you really needed that.
Yes.
You really need more armor. Pile it on.
Also, I've been doing more yoga, and I got another point in exert.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow, even better at yoga.
Yeah, yoga is like core to my build. It's like I need to protect these stupid people. What can I do? More yoga.
More yoga.
Yoga is always the answer.
Kirsten?
Okay.
What did Nona get?
Yeah, so Nona got better at fix, which seems like it could be relevant sometime. And then also took a peripheral routine. Really bad at saying that word. Get ready for me to mess it up every other time. Which is commit processing for the day as an on turn for the rest of the scene. Either your wisdom or intelligence modifier is increased by +1 up to a maximum of +3. A given attribute can be boosted only once in any scene. This doesn't alter your maximum processing score. So what that means, if I try really, really hard for the entire day, sometimes I can be less dumb.
Same, man. It takes a while though. Let's see. Alex sunk a few skill points into biopsionics, being better at healing. Took a technique in biopsionics to be better at healing, and then put a point into talk so that he is better at talking. Just a little bit. It didn't actually affect my modifiers or anything, but I had the extra skill point. I was like, all right, I foresee lots of talking in the future. That's it. That's all I did. I gained 1 point of HP.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. So Nona and Alex, what are your hit points currently?
13.
Wow, you're squishy,
I'm
Nona.
squishy.
As a robot.
Yeah, but that's okay because I got Ironhide. I've got a squishy center, but the outside is very hard.
Very hard.
Like a Tootsie Pop.
Exactly.
And by our powers combined, we have slightly more HP than Micah does.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, how much did you
27.
How much
No,
did you say you
yes,
have?
20.
Wait, 13
13? No,
plus 9. No, that's less. That's 22.
That is
In
less.
my head, I was like, 32. Just did it. But nope. Okay, cool. That's fun.
All right. So what do you guys remember from last session?
Claire did drugs.
We
Claire
got
stopped doing drugs, and then she did drugs to get over the not having done enough drugs.
Yeah, and
And
then
that
she
was
stopped
bad.
doing drugs again.
which is good.
And we wanted to take her to a
Really,
hospital or something.
Roller coaster of emotions going on here with the
Oh,
drugs.
it was.
There's also a very big character moment in that we
Oh,
now
yeah,
that
right.
Nona
That did
is
happen last time,
actually
didn't it?
a robot.
Surprise,
But
everyone.
more importantly, our daughter, Jess.
Yes,
Our
God.
space daughter is...
We have to look
Our
after her
psychic
health.
space daughter.
She's not feeling well, and we need to get her to the hospital.
Yeah. So those were the two big things, I think. Oh, and we made it to the Paragon something.
The Paragon
The
Freelancers.
Paragon.
The Paragon Freelancers.
That's if you have Atlas and you combine it with that, it's a Paragon.
It's a Paragon.
Oh no.
It's
There
a
was a
shape.
missed opportunity.
It's a shape with bare sides. The Paragon. All right, I'll be here.
Yeah. So you guys came across this station. I described it as, the the grape getting impaled by a straw with rings at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A vivid image.
A vivid image. And you guys were hailed by what you later learned to be a virtual intelligence, ADM 141,
New
also
best
known as
friend.
Adam, new best friend for Nona.
Also known as
And you were met directly with, when you guys landed, by Daniela, who goes by Danny. That's Linda and Mikey's daughter. And
Yes.
you're in into the Paragon
you
Freelancers.
should know this, sir. We get a pass.
You guys should write these names down.
Fan favorite, Linda and Mikey.
Our good friends.
Yeah, the Linda and Mikey Navarro, who we saved from the wreckage. More, we saved Mikey, and then his wife Linda told us about their daughter Danny, and now we're on their Christmas card.
Yes, because that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think you guys just you met the two of them. You sent word to the med bay saying, "Hey, we have a sick passenger. We need to take care of her." And I think Micah, you went up to help get her down and sort of move her into the med bay, right?
Yeah. I'm carrying her over to where she can be looked at.
So you got you have Danny there, you have Adam there, and she just basically said, "Welcome to Glazov 5 and the Paragon Freelancers." You look around the bay and you see a couple of other ships. I think I've already mentioned this. They're all different types of ships. It's a bit of a motley crew that you see. No, not the band. Not the band.
Space
Right there
Motley Crew.
in the distance, could it be?
There are two larger ships, what you make out to be like a courier, something that doesn't have very many hard points but goes fast. Something that's more of a patrol boat, which is almost like a souped up frigate that's almost practically like a warship in its own right. Not a major one, but like pretty strong when it comes to defenses as well as hard points. And then a smaller shuttle. You see various people walking around, not a ton of people, and a lot of Urson. About every other person that you see is an Urson.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, we asked for the stretcher, so
Yeah, so the stretcher's coming. Mike, I assume you're going up to get Claire and like wake her up.
Yeah. Is she like able to walk?
Yeah, with some help. She
Okay.
definitely is struggling right now. She's still kind of feverish, got the sweats and the shakes. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try and wake her up gently and help her walk down to where the stretcher is.
Yeah, so you help her up and you start walking her down into the cargo hold of the Phoenix. And as this is happening, she's sort of muttering under her breath, mostly sorries. And she reaches out and grabs your hand, and you feel this connection. And what you're feeling through this connection is you're starting to get images of things. You're starting to feel restricted and bound. And you're starting to then feel like feelings of a euphoria and confusion, followed by bouts of darkness and unable to see anything. And just the prevailing feeling that you're getting after you get this telepathic connection is just, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it's incoherent, but I assume you can kind of guess some of the things that she's trying to convey.
That's confusing. That's going to definitely take me back for a second. And then I'm going to try and give her like a little side shoulder hug squeeze on our way down.
Mm-hmm. And as you guys are making your way out of the cargo hold, you see Adam directing this stretcher carried by two Ursum, right, doing the hop, 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 hop.
Great.
Yes, the stretcher. It is here. Please provide the sick person.
Place the sick person onto the stretcher.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
There you go.
And so I assume you help Claire onto the stretcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give her a
So-
hand up.
I mean, you got to follow the instructions. You said them so enthusiastically.
So they're going to take her to the med bay. Are you guys going to walk with them to the med bay? Are you going to split off? Are you going to go like...
I mean, Alex is gonna go over to the med bay, if that's okay with anybody. But yeah, it's like, yeah, that's his plan. He's going to the med bay, same with his patient, if possible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't like actually know these people, so I think I'd rather at least keep an eye for now to at least see if they're like pretty legit, and then maybe if I feel confident that things are going okay, maybe I'll walk off. But yeah, I'm definitely going to the med bay right now.
Yeah. All right.
Is Danny still around?
Yeah, Danny's like with you guys.
Cool.
Along with and has been conversing back and forth with Adam, just sort of
Gotcha.
outside of the spaceship.
Okay,
Starship.
well, if she continues coming with us while we're heading there, I'm going to ask her, excuse me, why is your space station broken?
It's a long story. It's not necessarily ours. We found it. It was in a state of disrepair, and we were looking for a new place to go. And we tried to fix it up a little bit. There's still parts of it that need some work, but it's home right now. Yeah. And you can tell that there's some hesitancy. Just she's not telling you the whole story. Anyway, I notice you guys probably want to go with your friend there. I can walk you to the med bay. I can just give you a quick like heads up of like where different things are, what's sort of going on around here, and where you guys might be able to fit into all of this. Does that sound good? Yeah.
Yes, that is not a problem. But honestly, we're not going to be staying for long. Just until our friend here is feeling a little bit better. We have another matter if you are willing to hear it, however.
Sure. Yeah.
You see, the spaceship that we rode in on isn't above the board. It's running a little hot, if you understand what I'm saying.
The temperature's completely fine. I just checked.
Yes, well, Nona, you're embarrassing me in front of the core. In front of the core. It's a figure thing. It means that it's stolen, that it's not exactly ours. It's something is running hot. You don't want to touch it because it could hurt you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Gonna grin and do a little shifty eyes back and forth. Give Nona a point from Alex. Like, makes sense now. Okay.
Okay, good. Yes. So if you will understand that.
Yeah. This is certainly something that we have perhaps dealt with in the past. So the Paragon Freelancers, we operate in let's just say gray area. We don't necessarily talk to or report to any specific governments. We are there for people who can pay for our services. Granted, we don't do some jobs. There is a little bit of morality that we like to try and hold ourselves standard to. For example, we're against human trafficking.
Hey,
So are we.
That is
So there you go.
wow.
Yes, you know.
What a
you would,
low bar.
you would
Bring that up.
you would expect that from everybody that you work with, but honestly, sometimes it falls through.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah, so we have come across starships that perhaps needed to have their registration updated. And that's something that we can certainly talk about doing. Obviously, we're not a charity. We would like some services to be given to us in order to impart our services to you. And we would like to eventually think of this not necessarily as a transaction, but more as a family.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
But
All right.
that sounds fine.
Yes, we're happy to consider working off of this. Perhaps some kind of trade-in, if that's available. But obviously, I have something else on my mind. I kind of look over to Claire as we're approaching the medbay. So I might be a little preoccupied, but otherwise, yes, I think we're speaking the same language.
Yeah, certainly. I can make sure I can talk to Rodana about all of that and see where we can help you guys out here. Anyway, here's the med bay, and as you guys have been sort of walking down the hallway, and you reach this fairly pristine room, obviously used for medical purposes and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of people in here. It's actually quite empty, and you see as you guys get in, like Danny looks around and is like, "Where's Diane?" Excuse me for a second, guys. I need to try and find our resident. Let me try and find her. Adam, can you stay here with them? Certainly, I can do that for you. Thanks, Adam. I'll be right back.
He never quite finishes his sentences, does he? It feels like there should be something else, and then he decides, no, that's it. This is where the period goes.
Right here. This is where the period goes.
Good. All right, let's get on a bed, please.
So you guys take her off of the stretcher. The two Ursum help you. They're pretty burly guys. You notice that they have the same sort of patterning on their fur. They have white fur on their heads and faces, except for black ears as well as like black dots on their eyes and black nose.
Talking space pandas.
Super panda bros.
They may or may not look like pandas.
You don't know what a panda is.
You don't know what a panda is.
I just for Kirsten's sake, for visualization.
They might look like space pandas.
Yes.
Wow.
So you can tell that if they're not directly related, they're close in sort of relation to one another, even if they're not like direct lineage, like brother and sister. They're part of the same sort of clan and group.
Okay.
And they help Claire off of the stretcher and onto the bed and just sort of give you guys a terse nod and leave to go off and do something else.
Thank you.
You're in here. You're in this this medical bay. Again, very pristine. Couple of beds, kind of small for a station of this size, but you don't really make much of what exactly that means. You can see it's fairly well stocked. Definitely more well stocked than anything that you have on your person, Alex, or anything that is on the Phoenix itself. And now it's you guys, Claire and Adam. He's just sort of standing at attention by the doorway, not saying anything, just sort of watching.
Okay. I mean, I think Alex is gonna do some quick look around the bed. I'm assuming like IV heart monitor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He'll wait a little bit impatiently, waiting for the resident or whatever. This is their hospital, so you know.
Gonna scoot over to Nona while we're waiting. So is that guy like your cousin?
I'm not sure. How would that work?
I don't know. Just seems like he's a robot, you're a robot, you know?
Yes, but we haven't met before.
But you're like robot vibing, right? I don't know. I was just asking.
Yes, I think we are robot vibing. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Adam is just in the corner, standing at complete attention, not really talking to you guys at all.
Good. Okay.
I'm going to go stand next to him so that we may continue robot vibing.
And when you go over to stand next to
Actually,
him,
you know what? You know, not next to him.
Not next to him.
Directly in front of him.
so you're just gonna be staring at him right in his one blue light eye in the middle of his face.
Not uncomfortably close, but just like
But not comfortably far away
not
either.
comfortably distant either.
Are you like leaning in and like making a face? Or are you
No.
just completely blank face, just
I'm
walking up and
just
staring
doing what
at him?
he's doing.
Yep.
Just, at rest, but facing him. So
Hello.
that we may continue robot vibing. Hi.
Hello, can I assist you with something?
No, I'm all right. Thank you.
All right then. And he just goes back to what he was doing before, which is standing there
Correct.
doing nothing. So you guys are you waiting in this room until something changes? I assume you're continuing to look at Claire and just make sure she's all right, giving her like liquids and stuff.
Yeah. Alex wants to do more, but doesn't have permission to do that in this current locale, so he's not going to.
That's fair. So some time passes, and it's not like a short amount of time, like 5, 10, 15 minutes. You're waiting around, waiting for something. Something doesn't seem quite right. Things are taking a little too long to get this.
Where the fuck is that doctor?
Poking my head outside, I'm going to try and look down each side of the hallway. Is there like anyone walking around?
Yeah, you see again, it's a combination of, you see mostly human and Ursum. Again, about a 50-50 split. Seeing people sort of just generally walking by, just milling about. It doesn't seem like anything's actively happening. Just people going about their normal day.
Okay. I'm going to wait by the door, maybe being a little more on guard, because this seems like it's taking too long. Not like, guns out or whatever, but just kind of standing there looking.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Alex has kind of paced around the room. I'm assuming there's like some kind of medicine cabinet that would have like very basic kind of painkiller, like things like that. Okay, that's cool.
So you're rummaging through their supplies.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what's available, what's there. Not taking anything though.
Mm-hmm. As you're doing that, you can see Adam sort of looks over at you and is like, anything that I can assist with?
Well, you can find. Do you know where Danny or Diane are? How much longer they're going to be?
I can give Danny a call. Would you like me to?
I look at the other two.
Yes.
Yes, please, Adam.
One moment. And again, he does the same sort of thing that he did before when he was ringing the med bay, and sort of the eye almost seems to recede a little bit into himself a little bit, and the faint glow seems to draw back into itself a little bit more. So it's not necessarily as cognizant of the things around it. It has only so many processors that it can use on things.
Oh, poor baby.
No, poor baby. Not an actual true AI.
Pentium powered.
And he's just stands there for a minute or two, probably calling, trying to reach Danny. And then the eye that comes back forward into view, and the glow behind it comes back. And Danny is unable to locate Diane. Would you like me to assist in trying to heal your person?
What can you do?
I can grab the correct medicine and be directed to do specific tasks. But I will say, healing is not my strong suit.
Yeah, I figured as much.
At least it's forthright.
Where is Danny?
Currently looking for Diane.
Yes, but where?
And he freezes at that and doesn't really answer.
How far? How far are they in terms of time, please?
Danny is unable to find Diane. Diane is currently missing. For what reasons? Unknown. She perhaps went down the elevator.
And you can't tell us what's at the end of the elevator?
No.
No, you can, or no, you can't.
Yes.
Okay, Adam, it's a pleasure. Nona, can you see if you can help? I'm going to tend to Claire.
Yes.
And I'm gonna hook her up to like maybe an IV. Start doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Blood oxygen, heart rate.
Yep. Can you do a quick heal
Yes.
intelligence for me?
While
Yes,
he's
yes.
doing that, I'm going to say, ADM 141, would you like to come with me so we can go help find Diane?
I was told to watch you in the med bay.
Okay. I'm going to leave then.
And he sort of startles at that, and then I will follow you where you go.
Robot adventure.
That's a 9 on the heal check.
Damn,
Yeah,
son.
so you're able to hook her up just fine. She seems to be doing a little bit better, but again is going through a lot of things right now. And as you're hooking her up, I assume like putting an IV directly
Yeah,
into
keep
her
her
vein and stuff
hydrated.
like that. She faintly reaches out to you and is able to touch you, and you feel this sort of sensation, a similar sensation that you did before when you reached out to her when she was having her moment in the cargo bay, where she gave you that sort of prophetic prophecy. You feel almost this static charge, and you in running through your thoughts, it's almost like what currently is getting shown to you is not of your own volition, but it running through your thoughts, you just feel like being bound, and feeling like this sharp pinch, and then this sort of sense of euphoria, and then darkness, and waking up, and then just I'm sorry. And she sort of weakly lays her hand back down onto her chest.
Yeah, I sit down next to her. Like, it's okay. This is why we're here. You just feel better.
So Alex and Micah staying in the med bay with Claire. No, where are you going off to?
I mean, they said elevator, so I'm going to go try to find an elevator.
Okay, so you're heading off in whatever direction. So you guys came directly from the ship bay.
Yeah.
And came into the med bay. Are you just going to sort of wander around and try and find what this elevator might be?
Yeah. I mean, you can, like if you're kind of like in a hospital and you don't know really where stuff is, you still got a vague sense of where stuff should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm not going to wander in any direction that does not appear to be particularly.
If you see a
not
ghost, turn
elevator.
around.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the wrong part of the hospital. You don't want to be there.
Is the bad part. So as you guys are just sort of walking around, Adam says, "Where are you trying to go?"
Well, we're looking for Diane, right? So where's the place Diane would most likely be?
Well, if we can't find her, probably the elevator.
Great, let's go there.
And you can see him sort of stop for a second there, like, we're not supposed to go to the elevator.
Can we go near the elevator?
And you see him stop and think for a sec. Sure.
Great, let's do that then.
All right. And he starts leading the way towards what you would assume to be the elevator, since that's what you guys were just talking about. And as you walk by, you see a couple of different rooms. You see like a mess hall where it seems like people are eating in. You pass by what looks like some barracks and stuff like that, some offices where people are working at computers. And then above the sort of offices, kind of like in a factory setting where there's like a walkway up into an overseer's office. You can see there are lights on in that overseer's office. And you keep walking, and the people start to thin out more and more. You see less and less people. Things start to get a little bit more grungy. It's not as nice, not as clean, as well as upkept. And you turn a corner, and you come across this wiry, spindly man. He has his hair sort of spiked up with a bandana to hold it up. And yeah, it's this
One
guy.
of them guys.
One of these guys. He's got
a space bro.
a space bro. Claire Saffitz, like the stripe of white that she has in her hair? I think it's a thing. It's a specific
Like
YouTuber.
a stripe of white.
Yeah, a stripe of white. I'm trying to help people. Whatever. Shut up. He has a stripe of white in his hair.
Does he resemble anything like a space panda?
Is he really
No,
good?
he's a human.
Is he really good at baking?
Yeah, I guess you'll have to ask him.
We're not going to ask him that.
This man has his leather jacket flipped up with the collar, and you can see the on the side of his neck peeking out. You can see a tattoo of a
burn mark.
No.
Sorry, what was that?
It's a Joker card.
Ah,
Oh no.
okay.
And he's just sort of like, doing that thing that anime edgelords do where he's leaning against the wall. He's like, where are you going, Adam? I'm taking this person here to the elevator.
Near the elevator. We're going
Near the elevator. We're not supposed to go to the elevator. And this man sort of looks you over, says, who are you?
Hi, I'm Nona. I'm looking for Diane.
Yeah, I am too. What's your business with Diane?
Well, one of our shipmates is very sick, and we were told that Diane would be in soon to help with that. And she has not showed up yet, so I figured I would speed the process along and try to help find her.
And he sort of, he seems to sort of almost be taking you in, looking you up and down. Which ship did you come in on?
We are on the Phoenix. It's the one with the flames on the side.
Nice choice.
Thank you.
And he sort of looks over to Adam.
Validation.
and says, you're not supposed to take people to the elevator, Adam. Ah, that's right. But we're only going to and near the elevator, not actually into it. As said by Nona here. And this man looks over at you, Nona, and just does like the and pushes past you guys.
I don't have time for this. I gotta avenge my clan.
Yeah. You're getting those vibes from him.
Oh,
Lordy.
good. Kirsten is judging this man. Nona, unfortunately, is not.
Nona thinks he's so cool.
Has Nona learned something new and important about how to interact with people from him?
Nona now wants a leather jacket.
This is a sound I've never heard before.
By the end of this, we will have learned to beatbox.
Oh, yeah.
And as he walks away, Adam says, that was Anthony LeBeau, pilot of the Laughing Devil.
What type of ship is the Laughing Devil?
It is a courier.
Nona is on a side quest to obtain that warship.
Oh, the patrol boat?
Yeah. Whatever the big one is that is very good at fighting things.
That's the patrol boat.
Yeah.
That can hold quite a few people.
Optional quest: obtain every ship.
I mean, I would not say no to that. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
So as you guys are getting closer and closer, what you would assume be the elevator, again, getting grungier and grungier, dustier and dustier, darker and darker as well, and
Perhaps
Does
more
not
decrepit.
bother me.
Decrepit and more decrepit. Tanker and tanker.
This is where they keep the very dank memes.
and as you've been following Adam all of this way, and then all of a sudden he stops and he says, "We are by the elevator."
Great. Why is the space station so broken?
Because we found it broken.
Did you break it?
No, it was found before the
Rebooting.
GM rebooting.
An unexpected error has occurred.
Oh no, blue screen of Jeff.
Windows restart noise.
It was created before the screen and left in disarray, and we found it in this state.
Cool.
Yes,
I don't see Diane anywhere.
I do not, or Danny, but I can't move forward.
You can't move forward?
No, the station that we're on is connected, has several different black boxes. Once I cross the threshold of one black box, I am no longer able to operate.
Optional. Kill Adam.
Push him forward.
No. Well, in that case, it doesn't seem like you'll be very much use in searching for Diane. So maybe you should go back and continue watching the people in the med bay, and I will look around here.
Can you make an intelligence talk check?
Oh, God. That's my talk.
Because you're making like a logic reasoning to a robot right now.
Camera pans back to the med bay where it's just like, where's Nona?
Nobody.
Where'd Adam go?
Okay. It's
like-
2, right?
Yes.
Oof. Ouch. 3.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I was told to look after you guys, and specifically told not to let people by the elevator. If I leave you by the elevator, there's nothing to prevent you from going to the elevator.
What if I went and looked somewhere else?
That's not the elevator?
Yeah.
So you're let me just
Yeah, I'm
you're
lying
trying to
to a
convince
robot.
this robot that you're not gonna. He just said he doesn't want to leave you because he's afraid you're gonna go towards the elevator and you're not supposed to go there.
Correct.
So what exactly are you trying to tell him?
Well, the key is still to look for Diane, right? But Diane doesn't necessarily have to be in the elevator. She might be somewhere else. And the fact that everybody thinks she's in the elevator means there's probably somebody already searching over there. So perhaps I could search elsewhere.
Yes, and I can go with you.
But I want to look around here, and you don't seem to be able to cross this line.
But we're not supposed to go by the elevator. And this is like the first time where you hear this very upbeat, and it's just like, I don't know what to do. So
We're not supposed to go by it at all, not just in it.
yes.
And this is we, as in you and me, not just you because of your barrier.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble. So maybe I could just go back and ask around in the mess hall?
We can do that.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
And he starts heading off down towards the mess hall. Are you going to be following him?
I don't know. 2 questions.
Yes.
How one, is there any place to hide around here?
So the place that you're currently in, it's a long hallway.
Uh-huh.
There's not like necessarily things to hide around.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely stopped at a very specific point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a couple meters away where you could see the it turn.
So I could go around a corner.
Turn. Yeah, you can go around a corner.
Okay.
And he's heading back where it was definitely more populated, where you ran into Anthony LeBeau.
Would
before.
I have any sense of like how good his senses are in like his ability to see things and his ability to hear things, et cetera, and so forth?
Yeah, can you give me an intelligence no check for that?
Oh, I can try. 1 second. We're firing the other dice.
Always a bad die.
Oh, it was really bad. I got 1 and a 2.
Is it one of these dices that gave you your only 1 point in HP?
I think it was, yes.
Fired into the
They're
sun.
fired. Okay. Intelligence. You said intelligence, no?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, much better. I got an 11.
So not only are you aware that, yes, so one, he definitely has sight, like robots with this, that virtual intelligence generally are able to see things, are able to hear things.
Sure.
Which is why he's been able to communicate with you. Depending on their specific build, they may or may not be better at detecting things or have different things built into them. But with that role, you know that this robot is probably more of a communications robot. It's probably more dealing with linking into systems and being able to send messages back and forth. He's not necessarily like a security bot that has great like notice and wherewithal sort of around him outside of like interacting with someone directly in front of him.
Cool. And given that I followed him without protest to 2 different places now, he's probably assuming I'm following him.
You might be able to assume that.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. As soon as they head off in that direction, I'm going to like make the follow. And as soon as he like pulls slightly ahead, I'm going to turn around and sprint down the hallway.
So you're sprinting.
The goal is not necessarily to get there as fast as possible. The goal is also to not hurt his feelings.
Okay.
We don't want him to know that we lied to him.
So are you trying to maximize the distance between him as fast as possible, or him not noticing that you have left?
Well, let's see which of those I'm better at, shall we?
Hey, Alex. Do you think there are any rubber bands in here?
I mean, there are tourniquets, IV tubes. They're less springy, but they are rubber.
I want to try and find something, maybe tourniquet, just like to make a bouncy ball.
Oh yeah, so you're basically you're going through like supplies, and
I'm just rifling through shit to
there's like a desk
find
in
something
here.
to fiddle with.
There's definitely a desk in here that is normally, it's not necessarily a medical desk, and you go through and there's a whole pack of rubber bands.
Yeah.
I'm
going to start assembling my ball.
Also, if you find a packet of like space Advil, I feel a killer headache coming on.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I feel you. Sure, I will keep an eye out for space Advil.
Sorry.
We had a minor segue there to just them hanging out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna sprint.
You're just gonna flat out sprint. Okay.
So I would say some attempt to not. I'm not like running and screaming or whatever. I don't know how making noise like that would help, but we're not doing that. The idea being move as quick as possible, but also attempting to be discreet.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to have you do then.
Oh dear.
I'm because so you're basically trying to run from him, but being stealthy for like the first couple of steps so you can build some distance and then go.
More or less.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll exert dexterity. Probably exert dexterity. I want you to roll 3 dice actually, and take the lowest 2, because you're trying to. You're basically doing this a little bit out of a disadvantage.
Makes sense.
To
he
try
is right there.
And he's gonna do a thing as well.
I got a 6.
Okay, so he got a 5. So he didn't notice you before you started sprinting. Cool. But as soon as you start putting some distance between you guys.
I mean, at some point he's going to notice I'm not following him.
Yeah. I mean, you guys weren't, I assume you weren't talking very much as you were passing by things. So it was just like.
And I was also definitely doing a follow, not a. Because, like, normally when you're walking with a person somewhere else, you kind of do that side to side. That sometimes leads to, like, one person thinking they're following the other person. And Nona's not about that life. So she was directly, like, behind following. No attention paid to social conventions or anything like that. So
you start sprinting. He does notice that you go off, but you've put some distance between the two of you.
Great.
And he says, wait. Stop! You're not supposed to go by the elevator.
No, you're not supposed to go by the elevator.
And he's following after you, and like in a dead sprint, trying to catch up to you.
Now it's time to find out who's the faster runner. God, I hope it's me.
you cross where the point where he stopped before and says we can't go any further. And you keep making your way. You're only a couple of meters away from that turn. He's still bearing down on you, but based on sort of where he was, he just recently passed that same spot. And all of a sudden, he walked past it.
Oh dear!
And all of a sudden, you just hear and he falls like in a. I probably should have slapped right next to the mic. Whoops. Oh, well.
We'll clean it up.
We'll get it in post.
You hear a big crash and he has fallen to the ground. The light that has normally been within his lens has sort of faded out, and it's just a pile of metal.
Quest completed.
Yeah.
Done again.
Yeah.
I've gained
Objective.
10 experience.
All right. Well, there's that.
So
Go
you-
for the
Indicator
elevator.
blips off. of
You
your
are
HUD.
moving towards where you were told the elevator is.
Correct.
And you want to keep going?
Well, I mean, I'm yes, goal is elevator.
Okay. So
I was lying before when I said I wasn't going to go in it. It was a clever deception.
It was a ruse.
it was a ruse.
Ah. Yeah.
So you make your way, and again, it's starting to really be grimy. Like at this point, like there are panels that are sort of pulled up. You see scorch marks on the sides of the walls, and you start moving farther and farther down this hallway, this twisting hallway, and like there's ceiling tiles that are sort of falling through, and just like open electrical like circuits just sort of hanging down, and it does not look in well repair. And you can hear actually shouting happening a couple of yards down the hallway.
But not at the elevator yet.
Not at the elevator yet.
Okay. Potentially where the people are shouting is where the elevator is.
Perhaps. Do you want to keep moving towards that?
I mean, yeah.
So you keep moving towards that, and you come into an open area. So it was very tight quarters before.
Sure.
But you come into this open area where in the middle of this big, almost cylindrical room, or spherical, or not spherical, circular.
Right.
room. Yeah, circle.
Got it.
Got it.
Perfect.
In the middle of this circular room, you see this very large tube almost with doors on the front of it, which you could assume would be
find the
maybe
elevator?
the elevator.
Oh, shit.
These doors have been open, and on the inside of these doors, you see several figures.
Mm-hmm.
They appear to be humanoid, but you can't quite make it out. It's still at this point, it's very dark in here. There's practically no light, and you do see a couple of silhouettes right in front of you. The silhouettes of three people, one of which you recognize as Danny.
That was going to be my question.
What do you immediately want to do? So it seems Danny is on the other shoulder of this man who has his arms around these two other figures. Danny's not helping too much because she's like 5'5". This other figure next to the man holding him up is definitely more his size, is broader, and they're sort of dragging him towards you. What do you immediately do?
They're moving towards me.
Yes.
I'm going to hold up. I'm going to go over there and be like, "Hello, can I help?"
Okay, so you are walking into
Straight out. If they're heading towards me anyway, like act like you belong, man.
Okay, so you come closer, and these silhouettes that are directly in front of you, these three people, come a little bit more into focus. One of them is definitely Danny. She immediately recognizes you and has this very quizzical look on her face, also worried look on her face. The other two, there is a man that they're holding up. He has these his eyes are closed right now, and he has a knock on his head where a blood is coming out, and also a shot to the lower abdomen that he has, and obviously is not in a good state. He is definitely unable to move in his own right. You also notice that completely shaved head, he almost has this gray undertone to his skin, as well as like these little like strange metallic bumps all over his body, and almost like a pattern that just sort of weaves over the entirety of his body, his hands, his arms, his legs, his face. And there seems to be and the other figure next to him is a very stout, large woman with an orange jumpsuit that is currently tied off at the hips, revealing a tank top, long, flowing, wild red hair, and these unusually large canine teeth. Not nurse them.
Got it.
Feel like I have to not nurse them, but large canine teeth. Diane's the first one to obviously recognize you. The man is too much dealing with his own shit to
Sure.
say, who is this random person? And sorry, not Diane.
Dan.
Yeah, Danny.
Danny.
What was that? Making fun of us for not knowing names before, Jeff?
I shouldn't have had a Danny and a Diane in the same group. This is a bad plan. Danny looks up and is like, what? Why are you here? How did you get here? Where's Adam? And she looks back over her shoulder where those other silhouettes that you saw in the elevator seem to be advancing a little bit. And she just says, I don't care why you're here. Just help me get him to the med bay.
Did we find Diane yet?
And the large woman who is holding on the other shoulder is, yeah, I'm Diane. But first, can we please get this man?
Yes, I would at the same time.
Okay.
I always ask for help. And I'm a whole 2 inches taller than her, I think.
I thought you were like 5'9".
Oh, how tall was she?
5'5".
Oh, yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
5'8".
So you
3
take
inches.
the shoulder that Danny was originally holding, and this man, he feels heavier than a man of this size would be. I know how that sounds.
My people? Question mark.
Are you my people? And Diane, damn it, Danny turns
Made a
around
terrible
at
mistake.
the figures and just starts blind firing her laser pistol into the elevator as you guys make your way downtown, moving fast, and you're homebound. So you're making your way to your way back towards the med bay, and
Perfect.
sort of Danny is covering your retreat.
I'm assuming we can move slightly faster now.
Yeah. It's not being as much as dragged by Diane because Danny wasn't helping. You guys can actually sort of lift him up and move. So you guys are moving at a reasonable pace. The figures that you saw in the elevator, as you look over your shoulder, they don't seem to be advancing, just sort of observing. And you're going back towards the med bay, right?
Yes. We were going out to find Diane. We found Diane. Jeff.
Yeah, you did. And now you're
it.
bringing this man back. And
We're gonna walk by Adam's unconscious body.
You come back to where Adam fell, and Danny just looks over and says, God damn it, Adam.
He crossed the line.
It's not my fault he crossed the line. And she can you roll a charisma no check?
No, I may not.
Charisma, no. I like that one.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, which of you two did the best last time? Wait, that doesn't count. 7.
You can tell that Danny is pissed. You don't know why. There you go.
Cool.
That's what that roll gave
Wow.
you. Yeah.
I'm so perceptive, you guys. Reading them human emotions.
So as you are helping this man back towards the med bay, Danny says, go on, I'll deal with him. So you guys start winding your way back.
Yep.
And so we come back to Micah and Alex hanging out in the med bay. And just be like,
How much time has elapsed? How big has my rubber band ball gotten?
I'm going to say probably about 20 minutes has elapsed.
Oh, yeah.
And that was after already waiting like 10, 15 minutes for this person.
Should we call Nona? I mean, she's kind of.
I mean, like she can handle herself. I mean,
what's she handling herself against is kind of my question. Do we have to leave in a hurry? These are the questions I have.
we probably should have like stopped her, but she just kind of like walked out.
I didn't
with
even
Adam.
know this. I was focused on setting up Claire, or else I would have probably said something.
Yeah.
Well,
She's probably fine.
I think we should call her.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pulling out my compad, like punching
like
in the number.
There's the door sort of swings open very violently, and you see Nona with these two people that you don't recognize, helping one of a very injured man into the room.
Great news, everyone. I found Diane.
Okay.
Nice.
I see you.
That's all I got. That's all I'm saying.
So Alex and Micah just stand there like, did she cause this? And Diane, so the same description because they haven't changed in the past 5 minutes when I last described them. This large woman, Diane, picks this man up and puts him on an adjacent bed and starts working on him and calls out to you guys and says, 1, who are you? And 2, do any of you have any medical training?
1, Alex, and yes, me. And
Hi, I'm Nona.
Micah, no.
All right, and then she points.
Actually,
to
a little bit, but not like this. This is kind of above my pay grade.
She points. So she points to you, Alex, and she basically says, "Get over here," and almost like grabs you by the collar and pulls you forward. And as
why do strong women just feel like they can handle me?
And so you look at this man, and he seems to have several wounds that have come from laser rifles, an injury that you have maybe seen before.
Yeah.
And it was only a couple of hits, and he also seems to be bleeding from a scratch on his head, so the blood's covering his face. You also notice the same thing that Nona noticed, sort of the grayish undertones of his skin, as well as all of these strange metallic bumps all over his body. Can you do an intelligence no check for me?
Intelligence, no.
Intelligence, no.
7. Oh, 6.
6?
Yes, because I have a, yeah.
This seems like cyberware. What exactly what cyberware you don't know, but he seems to have installed himself with some form of technology.
Okay.
Not my people.
And so she grabs you over and basically starts directing you some things to do. This woman's unaware that you're a psychic, so she's basically just telling you like the basics, sort of put pressure on this wound here. I'll clean up here, and she's rummaging through the same medicine closet that you were looking at before.
All right. So base kind of palpitation stuff. Is this man mortally wounded? Like, is there like is he on the brink of death kind of stuff, or?
He is very nearly mortally wounded.
Okay.
Like 1 hit point left. So I know when it comes to in this system, like you only have like 6 rounds or so.
Because if it is a matter of treating burns and treating wounds and stuff, and he will like, this is the kind of stuff that you see on the average battlefield, and they kind of pull through, then I'm just gonna do the physical non-psychic stuff.
Okay.
I'll work along that way.
Yeah, he is well enough off that he was obviously able to be brought here. He needs to be worked on immediately so nothing else bad happens.
Okay.
But he doesn't need immediate psychic assistance in order to not die.
Then it's physical stuff then.
Okay. So you guys are dressing the wound and all of that. She stitches it up and deals with like the burns. You're a trained physician. I'm not going to have you roll for all of this. So he's okay. He comes in a stabilized position. It's probably another 15, 20 minutes has passed. And Diane sort of wipes her brow and lays a tender hand on this man's shoulder and looks up at you guys and says, "Okay, who are you?"
Alex.
I'm Nona.
I'm
We've
Micah.
met.
Names are useful, but why are you here?
We're bothering, well, slightly, and borrowing your facility. We have a patient of our own that we're watching over for some amount of time. We were told we could find friends here.
And she looks over at Claire on the bed, and that her?
Yes.
Nona briefly glances around to see if there's any possible other patient in the room that it could be.
So Diane walks over to her and sits down on one of those spinny doctor's chairs and starts examining
I feel
her.
I should warn you before you get a little bit too close. She is a psychic in her own right. She's a little loopy at the moment, doesn't have full control of her powers.
And Diane looks over at you and says, "A psychic, huh?"
Yeah.
She seems to take mental note of that. And she looks back at Claire and starts doing just a checkup. She's checking to see like all of the different signs. And she asks him, "Do you guys know what's going on with her?"
As far as we can tell, it's not good. The symptoms are consistent with flu or something of that nature. It's not anything nice, but we need something to pass the time, keep her healthy.
And can you roll a charisma talk check?
Yeah. 10.
And you, as you say that, she, you can notice her eyes sort of, they focus a little bit, almost as if she doesn't believe your bullshit. And
you rolled so good.
she rolled an 11.
Yeah, so she can make her own diagnosis. This is a second opinion.
Yeah, and she doesn't press the issue, but you know, there's a sense of she doesn't necessarily believe you, and she looks back and says, "This seems like it might be drug withdrawal. If it is, it'd be extremely useful to know what kind of drug it is she's withdrawing from."
Revelry.
Right.
Something a little stronger than that, perhaps. It's a long story.
And she nods at that. You don't get a sense that she's judging or anything like that. And she goes over to the medicine cupboard. And you notice actually a thing that she has with her hands now. You focus a little bit more on her hands as she's working with this vial. She untwists the cap and places her palm on top of it. And you notice that the liquid inside starts to drain for whatever reason. And she puts the cap back on and she places it back in the cupboard. And she goes over to Claire and,
Doctor, before you start too much, will you talk me through your treatment, please?
"I'm going to give her something for the pain, something for hopefully a low-grade dose of Reverie such that she doesn't die from any sort of repercussions. We'll try and wane her off of this. She'll be fine, but she's going to be very miserable for the next couple of days."
Okay, understood.
And she pulls up her hand, kind of like how doctors do when they're pulling on gloves. And you can see the fingers that she has, they start to articulate a little bit, and the skin around them starts to open up, such that the top two digits pull back down her hand, and a needle comes out of her index finger. And she takes Claire's forearm and presses the needle into it. Very obviously cyberware.
I had a nightmare just like that once.
It feels like that would only be useful for one very specific situation.
It comes up pretty often in the medical field, however.
And she was this said out loud?
Yes.
She smiles at that, showing those sharp canines, and like, "Don't worry, I sometimes bite the bad guys."
What? What do you? What?
I think I looked away a little bit at the freaky finger thing, but I looked back at her for that.
and she gets a kick out of that and explains, "I have cyberware implants, toxin injectors, healing from my hands, toxins from my teeth." And she gives you that smile again.
Very good. Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
Great. You're all cool, great people. I want the anime boy back. At least I know what I had with him.
I love this person.
And so she rolls her neck and looks over at you guys and says, "You guys new recruits?"
No, we are visiting.
We're looking to do a little work around here, but we're not planning to stay too long now.
shame. We could have used more people. And she goes back to checking on the man that she brought in. You guys immediately doing anything, just sort of hanging out here? You were brought here by Danny and Adam, who are still absent, and it's just currently the man that's currently on the table and Diane checking over him.
As things are happening, I kind of want to go up to Diane as she's looking over the guy who was brought in here with laser rifle marks, burn marks and things like that, and say, so what exactly happened here? You came in a hurry. Kind of looking over at Nona too.
She looks over at you and says, got shot.
I can see that on the station.
The elevator is apparently a very contested place.
And when you say that, Nona, you see Diane give you like those side eyes. And she spins around in her chair. We have, and she is looking for the right word. Infestation.
Of rifles.
Yeah, they just go off for no goddamn reason.
They're also humanoid shaped.
And again, she's just sending daggers your way.
I am assuming I am being helpful.
Hey, no, what else did you see?
That was most of it. That side of this space station is not doing great.
Huh.
And after this sort of back and forth, the door opens again, and Adam and Danny walk in. And Adam's like, "Oh, I see you found Diane."
Yes, thank you for your help.
And he doesn't respond to that, just sort of stands there. And Danny goes, so, Nona, what exactly did you see?
I saw the elevator, and I saw the humanoid shaped self-firing rifles.
And she looks over at Diane and is like, yeah, that's kind of it. The station has some of its defenses still up. We've been trying to go into the elevator into the farther reaches of the ship, and we haven't really been able to do that because we occasionally meet some. And she pauses. Resistance.
It sounds like you have a bit of a problem that maybe we could help you out with.
It's funny you say that because that's what we were kind of hoping for more manpower to do. This is a pretext space station. There's bound to be some real nice goodies in the center of this thing. And it also means that we won't constantly have VIs breathing down our necks, firing laser rifles at us.
Sounds sick.
Good. Yeah.
What's the pay?
Well, we can definitely give you guys that update of those credentials that you need. Can throw some credits your way, maybe some nice toys to go along with it.
Salvage rights?
Not entire salvage rights, but you know, we could do some finders keepers here and there. We'll have to split the pot somehow, but yeah. Nona's just like, yes.
I'm gonna go get me a robot army.
Oh no. What has the GM done?
I shall keep them
your
next to
pants
my
too soon.
hover bikes.
And this is the deal. There's no other jobs you need that are perhaps less laser rifle target practice, more, I don't know.
You can stay behind if you want, Alex.
Well, maybe I'll take you up on that. I do have a patient, but
and that Alex being less than sure about this, Danny goes, look, we need this done. Our last headquarters was we need this place. She trails off. We need this place to be safe. We can't have another last HQ. So this is our highest priority mission right now. We can certainly figure something else out. There's a couple of surveying stuff, surveying missions we can have you do. Go off onto some worlds and see what's there, see if there's any pre-tech artifacts. If you don't want any violent things, there's some smuggling that you might be able to do. But and she looks at you, Alex, like she's definitely trying to convince you. We need some muscle to get into this this eggshell.
I'm not the right person you should be talking about muscle to. I have a strength modifier of -1. But
jokes aside, Alex, I mean, we could definitely use your skills out there to keep us patched up. If it's as dicey as she's saying, it's all like that. Assuming Diane's got Claire pretty much handled over here.
And Diane says, yeah, we'll probably want to keep her under observation for a couple of days, but she'll be fine.
we're stuck here then, and I'd rather not use the ship. And as I mentioned, it's wanting some attention. So the more we take it out, the more attention is there, and not happy about that. Well then, I did not see these sentient rifles, but let's take a look and see what we can do then.
Actually, just as you say that, an alarm goes off.
Yay!
And, burr, burr, and the lights start flashing. Like there's a red light flashing, and Danny and Diane look at each other, and there's just a sigh out of them. And Diane looks over at the guy on the table. Is like, I need to make sure he's okay and stabilized. What I assume is going to be coming out is the things that we ran into. It was a couple of security bots and a leader. Best we can assume. He was the one that took a chunk out of Fu here. Other ones only have stun batons. They hurt like hell, but they won't kill you. I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to do. I think the leader seems to be the most protected of them. The other ones seem to swarm on him if he gets hit too much. We got a good hit on him, but I don't know what they're doing out here. They shouldn't be able to move much past their own black box. And so she pauses for a second and looks up at you guys and says, first part, we'll get you those, we'll start working on those credentials for you if you start helping us with this issue.
Okay, let's go. Let's go then. Where are they? Lead the way. Here we go.
They're by the elevator. Nona, Diane looks over at you, can show the way. And
Will do.
Nona, how wide is that hallway? Perhaps motorbike?
It would be motorbike. You would have to drive the grav cycle there first, but it is basically as wide as that. It's a small space. You wouldn't be able to turn around very easily. You do a little bit of an Austin Powers, but you can definitely go in one direction.
Would it fit in the elevator? Because that's more or less
It would
where we're
fit
heading,
in the
right?
elevator, yeah.
I like this plan.
And it's just any cover, anything there? Is it just a long, empty hallway?
So I'm gonna tag you in on this, Jeff, because I don't want to
Yeah.
explain anything.
The
but
hallways have been mainly a straight shot. The open area that you got to where the issue the battle was going down. There are a bunch of like crates and debris that could be used as cover.
Are any of them barrels, and are any of the barrels red? Because we should not hide behind those ones.
Well, you didn't check. Maybe.
That's fair. That's very fair. I'm just noting this for the future.
I'm going to start heading over.
We should go get the grav cycle, maybe set up a kill point if we can block out the hallway and hide behind there and pick them off without any problem whatsoever.
I'll give us some space.
Hopefully.
I'll make some room.
And as you guys start to make your way, Danny, gotta always think about this now. Danny grabs you, Alex, and puts 3 like metal spheres in your hand. and says, EMP grenades. They do a hell of a number on them.
Well, that is certainly appreciated. Yes.
So yeah, you guys are getting ready. So Noah, you're heading back to the ship to grab one of the grav cycles.
Yeah, probably, right? That seems to be the plan. Yeah, I'm going to take the scratched one because I got a feeling this one might not make it out. So great.
All right.
But yeah, I'm assuming I have the ability to maybe walk faster than people because I'm not bound by social convention.
Yeah, so you're running off. Micah and Alex, you don't necessarily know where to go, so you must have to wait for Nona.
Oh, is nobody else coming with us? Like they're just sending us to hold this?
We get to go and die.
So you take a look around, and what you didn't necessarily notice before is there seems to be like various points of choke points that people are starting to congregate around. So down the hallway, you can see on either end of the T intersection on the walls, like there are people stationed there and pointing down where it looks like the danger might be coming from. So it seems like they're almost taking defensive positions. They're not going out and sending like a vanguard to try and take care of this.
And that I'm assuming that's where we're supposed to
we
go.
can see what direction they're like looking or defending from.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll walk that way and pull up my telekinetic armor and not be behind cover.
Yeah. I'll say, no, this is not a brisk walk. This is a running job, just to make sure as she's already sprinting away. And I kind of like reach into my bag and shuffle around and pull out the laser pistol and ready the EMP grenades and follow Micah from behind.
So you guys are then you can take multiple people on this grav cycle. You know, at least two have ridden it together. You could probably fit a third if you don't go too fast. So you're just going to sort of take the grav cycle to, and Nona's, I assume, the one driving.
One would assume.
All right. So you guys, you hop on the grav cycle. One person obviously is behind Nona, sort of holding her around the waist. How is the other person? Like, and I guess the other person.
You grab the other person around the waist.
You're like squeezed together.
Sorry, wait, what's the plan? Were we waiting for you to get the cycle? So
I think we've gotten to the point. Yeah, I think we've gotten to the point.
I thought that you like ran back to the ship and we were.
And
going
Micah,
that's what I thought, but I'd probably catch up.
Oh, you're not waiting for Nona, though.
No.
Okay.
No,
so you're heading in the direction then. Nona eventually catches up because she's got
again not bound by social convention.
Right.
And you keep going down these hallways where people are stationing and they're directing you with the group, and finally Nona meets up with you guys. Start moving towards where the elevator is, and right before you get to the elevator, there seems to be like sandbags that people are putting down, and there are two people there. One person is a very almost like regal person. Like it's the way that they present themselves. It's very straight, very forward, very proper. On either side of this person's shoulders are tattoos of the Paragon Freelancers symbol, which is it is a star whose bottom 2 points are basically pulled out as diamonds, such that the top part of it is like almost like a fighter jet, and the other two are exhaust fumes coming off of it.
Awesome.
Laid on top of a circle with 4 ragged lines through it diagonally.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And the person next to her is a Torq. And this is, I think, one of the oldest Torqs that you guys have ever seen. The number of crystals that encase this being basically makes it almost it's unable to move. Granted, it's only a torso that you can see on top of what appears to be almost like spider tank-like legs. So it's got 3 legs on either side that can articulate and allow it to move around. And these two figures are talking right before the entrance. You guys approach them, I assume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna appreciating the the shoulder tattoos on the first one and kind of take a second to evaluate my own armor and generate some shoulder spikes.
Fantastic.
So you guys get up to them, and they both turn to look at you, and the Ursum, which you realize is an Ursum woman, turns to you and says, I see we have some new recruits. You guys are going to help me take point on this. We're going to kill these goddamn robots, and then we're going to have some good dinner.
Shifty eyes.
Are we eating the... Never mind. We have... Well, we brought the... And I point over to the graph cycle. We were planning on using it as cover, but it seems that you have that covered. What are the points? Where's the kill zone? What are we doing?
Well, whenever the elevator activates, this alarm goes off. We've hooked it up to the circuitry such that it happens so that we know when they're sending a platoon towards us. We have reason to believe it is the same platoon that jumped Diana and Fu while they were doing work around here. Just a couple of security bots and an armed security bot. Shouldn't be too worrisome. And she looks over all of you and looks at Micah and sort of sizes Micah and is like, you can tell that she approves of what's happening there. And then she looks over at the other two of you and was like, where are your weapons?
I hold up the EMP grenade and the laser pistol just like held with two fingers.
I pull out my pistol and I also gesture to the hoverbike.
And she looks over at the Torq and says, Six, give him some actual weapons.
Yay!
And you can see this Torq. You can see him a little bit more clearly now. The crystals, they're even covering his face. You can't even see his eyes. You can just, the lower part of his face is not covered. Really, the only parts of him that are not covered are the hands themselves and his mouth. So you assume like the things that move more tend to get less of this crystal growth on them. And he goes, yes, miss, I can do that. And out of his tank, his like little spider tank, two compartments open and two laser rifles come out, and he grabs them and gives them to you and says, there you go, chaps.
Oh, good. Yes. I know how to use this.
What are those again?
Laser rifles?
Yeah, in terms of damage. Sorry, the pistol is 1d6. What's
1d10.
Is it the same as the rifle that I use? I guess we can just look.
I don't think yours is a laser rifle.
It's not the same because it doesn't have like auto fires.
Yeah.
But I think
laser rifle has the ability to burst fire.
But I think otherwise it's the same. So it's D10 plus 2 damage.
That's, I think, your own attack damage. You don't add that. It's just D10.
It's just D10.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then you add your own damage to it.
I have modifiers.
Okay.
And you guys are sort of situated behind these sandbags. Are you going to try and move the sandbags so that you can bring the grav cycle into this open area?
I mean, I feel like... So I'm feeling a little bit of sunk cost fallacy here because we didn't bring it all the way here. And I don't want to go all the way back and put it away. So, like, I'm kind of pro bringing it with us, especially if I can figure out how to run over somebody with it again.
Yeah, maybe we prop it up behind the sandbags and it, like, kind of pointed... So we can either use it to reinforce if they start breaching, or we can move it back and go back into the hallway if we need to fall back.
Okay, I'm on board.
So also, just so you're aware, I'll describe the inside of this open area. So it's circular, right? And in the center of it is this elevator that opens to one side. So there is an area that you can be behind it. Granted, you will be, if they come out and try and like pincer you, you will be like kind of surrounded, but it is behind their viewpoint. And the opening of the elevator itself opens directly to the hallway. So as soon as you open it, you can fire into it if that changes anything.
Interesting.
No, I'd leave the graph cycle there. Alex is setting up over kind of at the mouth of the hallway as far back from the room as he can get. but still within 100 feet of people, if possible. 100
some
meters.
reason.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of meters. That's a lot of meters. Okay.
That's quite a bit. I'm gonna.
Alex is gonna go back to the cafeteria and get a snack, but don't worry, he's still gonna be.
You guys are gonna be fine.
Do you have a pair of binoculars?
I'm gonna cockily blow past all of these kind of defensive plans and hard points and whatever. I'm just gonna summon my gun in my hand and I'm gonna walk in.
You're gonna be standing in front of the firing sort of like the bags.
Is it like, do they control like opening the door, or can I just like open the door?
So you can call the elevator, right? But you can't like actively open it unless it's already here. And if you stand, I assume you don't want to stand directly in front of the sandbags.
I would prefer,
that's where people are firing.
I guess
from.
I don't want to get shot.
So you can move over to the side. You can find some cover. So
yeah.
You are in within. The,
I'm going to be like in
itself.
the scrap. Yeah, I'm not hiding behind sandbags.
Yeah,
that's not my life.
I think I'd like to go. I don't know. I don't want to be all the way behind things, because then if I try and shoot them, the elevator shaft's probably blocking stuff, right?
You don't want to be behind things because what?
So I don't want to be directly in the line of sight of these things, because I am not like Tanky McTankface over here. So I'd prefer to be kind of off to the side. And I was thinking even like directly behind, but if you're directly behind, the elevator's kind of in the way, right?
Yeah, it would obscure sort of your immediate vision. Granted, it would also obscure their
immediate vision. I could just take my bike over there and try for another surprise bike attack. No, we're not gonna do that. Is there also anything computer like
besides me
in the room? I'm looking for like terminal style things.
Mm-hmm. So you look around and there's definitely some ruined tech around. Mm-hmm. It doesn't appear to have any power to it.
Gotcha.
Just a reminder that this area is quite dark because there is no active lighting. And on either side of the sandbags facing towards the opening of the elevator are two floodlights. Just absolutely blasting them with light so you guys can see what's going on in there, and through the reflections that are happening within the room itself. It's a low light, so you can see what's happening in there, but you're trying to also blind, or Rodana, the person that you're talking about, is trying to do that along with Zix.
Okay, so if the Torq is still there, is Rodana who that is? I kind of want to hold up one of the EMP things and say, "Excuse me, is this on a timer? Is it pull the pin, count to 3? How does?"
Yeah, Rodana is the Ursum woman. Zix is the
the Torq who gave us the guns.
Yeah, are you talking? So the EMP grenades, you're looking up at those. And he looks over at you and says, "Pull the pin, throw, wait, and explodes."
Okay. That's all I needed to know. And that's what I want to ready. Like, I want my first scene to be when the elevator doors open. I'm just going to chuck the thing in there.
Okay. So you're sort of readying that action.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go directly behind that. So the way I'm envisioning this, which I just realized might be incorrect, is the elevator being in the center of the room?
Yes.
Okay.
It is in the center of the room.
Great. So then I want to be directly behind, like on the back part of the elevator shaft.
So we're in the grape and we're looking at the straw.
You're not in the grape yet. That's towards the center of the station. You guys are actually more towards the tip of the straw.
Like, depending on like what the material's made out of, like if it's all glass, this is a terrible plan, but I'm looking to like be against the back wall of the elevator such that I'm exactly 180 degrees away from where it opens.
Okay, so you are taking the I'm going to
take the behind them route.
Okay, then I guess I'll be right next to the doors, but like not in the line of fire, just kind of standing to the side as they open.
All right,
and I'll pull out my melee weapon, my eye beam. I'm going in.
All right.
Beat him to death.
Now that you guys have...
Alex is behind cover.
No, Alex is not fucking around with this bullshit.
No.
That's a good plan. It's a good plan.
And so, this alarm was going off as you guys were all doing this, and it stops, and the the red light stops, and you guys are huddled in your various positions. Micah slightly off to the side of the doors, ready to bounce in. Alex behind the bags with Rodana and Zix, and Nona with the grav cycle.
I think we would have had to take time to drag it over and do all that
so
stuff.
just
So
you.
no, just me.
Just you behind the elevator itself.
Yeah.
Blaring stops, just gets deathly quiet, and you hear the of the elevator.
Ding dong.
Fantastic.
Like Cabin in the Woods.
I was really
Yeah, exactly.
hoping for that.
And as it opens, that's where we're going to end today's session.
Damn.
Boy.
So we'll start the next one with some fighting.
Okay, great. Alex loves fighting.
Yeah,
That's his character. Far away from it. It's kind of got behind the sandbags, please.
I can tell I'm gonna get bodied immediately, but I don't care. I want this.
I'm amazed that you guys are just like, yeah, we're gonna stand in front of the robot floor.
I'm standing behind the robots.
Well,